So there were some winners and losers at the quarterback position for sure. Let's go through a few more winners and losers here because I think there were some clear winners and some clear losers. One clear winner for me, Oreos. Actually,
what?
Cookie, the Oreos.
Dude.
Actually not the double stuffed.
Double stuffed.
I want to clarify because I think single stuffed, not worth your time.
You're crazy. What are you
double
talking
stuffed,
about?
So
I wouldn't even touch double stuffed. Would not even touch it.
So Quinnen Williams,
right?
The defensive lineman out of Alabama.
Yeah.
Impressed.
What?
At the combine, right?
Yes.
People liked what he did. I thought his workouts were good.
Freak show.
Comes out now, before his workouts, 4 double stuffed Oreos.
I love it.
He's a huge fan. He gave them up to train for the combine, but then right before he did all the 40-yard dash, all the different 4 double stuffed.
Get in your comfort zone. I like that. First of all, I grew up on Oreos, and I used to have fun with guys. Like when we would work out, and maybe I'd beat them in bench press. I'd be like, yeah, Oreos outdoes creatine once again.
So awesome. You're on board.
I am on board, not with the double stuff, but I love Oreos. There's not a better cookie on planet Earth than Oreos.
There's not.
It's the leader in the clubhouse. Dunking it in milk or just dry. I'm all in.
You do have to brush your teeth immediately thereafter.
But you definitely do.
Just,
right.
You have black Oreos over your teeth for the rest of the day.
But you're Quinnen.
Yeah, the Oreos are my winner. Oreos are a winner. I feel like that's good marketing.
Well, I mean, I think he was, and
Quinnen. Yeah.
Quinnen was amazing. I mean, I think it really just to play off of that, like the front seven in general. I would argue that what we saw yesterday is Sunday workout, which is when all the front seven guys, D linemen, linebackers, all worked out. I thought it was like the greatest display I have seen as far as Sunday workouts, at least in recent history. There's not one that pops to my mind. But when you just start to go through the freak shows of players, whether it was the 2 linebackers, the Devins.
Yeah, Devin White.
Yes, right.
Out of LSU and Devin Bush out of Michigan.
Exactly. I mean, they were phenomenal. The countless D linemen who were special.
So what was it? Was it the numbers, just the 40-yard dash, how they did in drills?
Yes.
What was it?
I mean, I think the first thing I just draw explosion. That's the first thing I look at. Like, the first time I saw Devin Bush and Devin White get out of the blocks in the 40 and take off for 10 yards, I was like, well, I've seen them play football, and those 10 yards are all I need to see. They can run and explode through the hole or do whatever it is. But just the way they look in their spandex, certainly part of it. I'm a big legs and butt guy. That's how if you got legs and butt, if you look at most good football players, they have a nice butt and unbelievable legs that make them special players.
So if Chris Simms is scouting the combine, you go there, you look at them in their spandex, and then you leave. I'm good. I've seen all I need to see.
I'd like to see a little results, but yes, legs and butt are a big thing, certainly. I mean, Saquon Barkley, let's just start like last year.
You could have seen him walk into the building and then left.
I would have been like,
I've got
he's
my
top
report.
5 pick. I've seen the film, and now I've seen his legs and ass. I'm good.
In person.
Let's move on.
Because you want to see it in person, too, because the camera can lie.
Right.
The camera can always
lie.
What about a loser? So here was something that was interesting. I thought Ole Miss, Mississippi State, had some of the best athletes that we saw at the combine so far. Wide receiver position, very impressive.
All 3 Ole Miss receivers. I know, what is Ole Miss? Are they winners? Or what is the state of Mississippi? They're losers because I want to go, holy cow, how many studs were on Mississippi and Mississippi State through the first 3 days of the combine? But I want to say the fans, I guess, of these schools are the ones that are losers because I want to go, man, you have top 20 talent in football and you're not ranked in the top 20.
Right.
And that is disgusting, bro.
So you're seeing what do we describe what we're seeing?
All right, we got to go up to the monitor for this one, okay? I mean, this is off the chains. We had our first double back. She saw that we were on air and she's like, I'm not coming down there. I'm going somewhere else.
I can do this a different time. I'd rather not be on the first podcast. So describe what we're seeing for the people who are listening on our podcast.
All right. I mean, we're seeing A.J. Brown and D.K. Metcalf with no shirts on, flexing. And A.J. Brown, who is absolutely a specimen and had a phenomenal workout, has been totally, dwarfed, and just nobody's talking about him because of, can I draw on this thing yet? Okay,
there's no telestrator option. But
that doesn't even look real.
For those who are listening, Chris is touching DK's abs.
I really want to touch them in real life, too.
Multiple times.
I want to touch them in real life. And I'm not even joking. I was watching the combine live when they showed this.
Yeah.
And my kids and my mother and my wife were all watching. And they were literally like, is that real? And I was like, yeah, this guy is an absolute freak show in a respectful way. D.K. Metcalf was one of the stars of the day.
4.33 40.
4.33 40. I mean, it's like he's the new version. He's like the 2.0 version of Julio Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what it looked like. And, I mean, I heard a lot of people try to compare that to your six-pack, but...
To mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have one.
Yeah, negative.
No, you do. You draw it on. If you draw it on, and then you get the right lighting,
more like
it can look like that.
More like you got a keg. That's not going to help your six-pack back there, but feel free.
They're like, why is Chris yelling at me? I'm just walking past here. So the players for Ole Miss and Mississippi, but the teams. You're right. I mean, it's
a little under
State 8-5. I mean, that's not 4-4 in the SEC. Okay.
Yes, right.
Ole Miss was 5-7. DK missed half the year with an injury, but 1-7 in the SEC. Not great if you're the state of Mississippi.
No, definitely not.
You do like the state of New Jersey, though.
What?
Because year in and year out, as a guy from
New Jersey, the dirty Jersey.
Before I visited New Jersey, I thought New Jersey, all it was basically
a crap hole.
No.
Yeah.
Pavement. And semi-trucks.
Right.
That's why I thought the two things that New Jersey has, pavement and semi-trucks. Then I lived there for 2 years. It's beautiful.
It's the Garden State?
You do have gardens. You have greenery. You have trees.
Yes.
I didn't know there were trees there, to be honest with you.
Right.
But I saw trees when I was there. It's a beautiful state.
Where did you live in Jersey?
Princeton area.
Wow, that is a very pretty area. Yes.
Yeah, Princeton. It was like Princeton Junction, right by the train.
Hey, Jersey football is real. It really is.
So, I mean, it's like a pipeline.
For a small state, and I don't know if I have these numbers exactly correct. Now, Jersey's a pretty densely populated place, right? But I believe the last time I looked, New Jersey had the 6th most players in the NFL. Hey, you lived in Princeton. One of the first college game ever in our country is Princeton versus Rutgers.
Not a whole lot of Princeton athletes.
No, definitely not.
Talk about, but yeah. So who are some of the ones that caught your eye out of New Jersey? Who we knew they were good beforehand. Rashawn Gary,
right? But
you feel like now we see them, you're like, wow, they may be even better than we knew.
Rashawn Gary, I think, is being overshadowed by maybe how fast the two white line, Devin White and Devin Bush were at linebackers, how Montez Sweat did from, Mississippi State, how talented he was. Rashawn Gary, I thought, was like one of the freakiest workouts of the whole combine.
Out of Michigan.
Yes, out of Michigan. He's 276 pounds and ran a 4.5.
4.58.
4.58.
38 inches on the vertical. I mean, he really moves like a tight end.
That's insane to be running and moving like that. And then if you saw the drills to go along with it, I'm no joke. I would think the way he can move his hips and turn and break on the ball and things like that, that was legit coverage linebacker, good safety type of stuff, let alone a guy that's going to play defensive end and defensive tackle in the NFL. But him, Josh Allen, the pass rusher from Kentucky, he's another Jersey guy from Montclair, New Jersey. And then Dwayne Haskins, who's a Giants fan, grew up in New Jersey, close to the Jets facility. I know he moved to Maryland, I believe, his freshman year in high school. But there you go. You got 3 guys that are, they're going to be in the top 10. And I'm a Jersey guy, and I'm a Jersey meathead, and I'm giving my state a little love.
No, you're not a meathead. I wouldn't call you a meathead. I wouldn't call you a meathead. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I've only known you for 2 days.
Yeah, well,
so maybe
you will later.
I'll call you meathead later tonight. So you've said that the defensive line, the linebackers, they blew you away. You knew they were good. They blew you away at the combine. So we haven't really talked about in winners and losers, Nick Bosa, who seems like for the last 2 months has been the winner. It's like people say, yep, he's going to be the #1 pick. It's not even a question, but it's a formality. Didn't play much of the year in college this past year, sat out with the injury, performed well at the combine, actually outdid his brother, Joey, in a lot of the different metrics, maybe just by a little. But would you call him a winner or loser at the combine?
I still would call him a winner. I would. I'm not going to go loser. Hey, I don't think he's a definite slam dunk #1 pick anymore because of the Kyler Murray conversation. I think because some of these other workouts too, like Rashawn Gary's going to give him a run for his money. Hey, he didn't play football this past year other than, the first game or 2 before he basically called it quits and said, I'm going to get ready for the NFL Combine.
So you don't like that?
Well, I'm okay with that. I am. The guys making business decisions, I'm totally fine with that. This day and age where there's this much money and your future's on the line like that, go ahead. And he's a stud. He's going in the top 5 no matter what. And really, at the end of the day, some of his numbers might not look as eye-popping as Rashawn Gary or Montez Sweat. But the big thing with a guy like him is tremendous strength, tremendous power, unbelievable legs and ass, okay, again. And his 10
he passes the Simms test.
And the 10-yard split. That's another big number that really is, like, for pass rushers or anybody on the D-line, is like the most impressive number. The more important number is not the 40, but those first 3 or 4 steps out of the hole, which is very conducive to what you are as a pass rusher.
Yep.
And that's where Bosa had special numbers as well.
And I get it, too. I really don't begrudge a guy for making a business decision. If it's better for you and your family and it makes you more money, I mean, you owe nothing to anyone else but yourself and your family. Make the decision that's best for you.
Exactly.
Although what it does worry me about is that, you've already seen some injury problems for his brother.
Sure.
And so he misses a whole year. Nick does now with Ohio State, basically. That would be a concern to me. What kind of injury, you get tabbed injury prone. Some of it's just bad luck, and some of it's not, there's not a whole lot of, not to it. You just had some bad luck and you got injured, and that's what happened. But if I was another team, I'd be a little concerned.
Yeah, between him and his brother, I think that's a valid point. I totally get that. And, a groin injury that he had to deal with, that's never good. Anything down there core-related for a guy that, like we just said, didn't have to get in the three-point stands, come around the edge, be flying around the edge, have unbelievable base with a 315-pound guy leaning on him as he turns the edge. Yeah, those are the scary things. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to affect him too much, because I think anything, and again, I haven't done the deep dive on some of these D linemen yet, but anything I've seen on TV, watching him over the last 2 years, or watching other guys last year in the draft and still seeing him in crossover film, he's special. He pops, and he's well schooled already too, because of his brother, because his dad played in the NFL. He's got a lot of the proper hand techniques and things that maybe some of the other defensive linemen don't have yet.
But sometimes it's good if you don't have that, because you feel like you're
room to grow.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, I think that's where teams will have to balance it out to go, wait, okay, Rashawn Gary has more pure, raw explosion, okay, but all I always hear is his production's not. His Rashawn Gary's production scares me. Okay, I get that. Production can be overrated sometimes too, though. Yeah. Just if you're, there's a phrase I used to use. I've always used this on the podcast. They should have a stat for the play up. Okay, sorry, that's my second swear of the show.
No, I think they're going to kick you off with one more. But it'll be the Ahmed Fareed Unbuttoned podcast.
But why I say that, because I use guys like Jadeveon Clowney or Michael Bennett when he was the star of the Seattle Seahawks, where, their stats might not look great, but when you turn on the film, you go, damn, there's Jadeveon Clowney. They're going to run the ball to the right. He blew up the guard. He blew up the fullback. And now the running back had to run somewhere where he wasn't supposed to run. Somebody else gets the tackle, even though, okay, nothing goes on Jadeveon Clowney's stat sheet, but he was really the player who ruined it. And that's what I mean by F the play up, is little instances like that. And that's what you see from Rashawn Gary. So it's not always about the stats.
It's a team game. It's a team game, especially on the defensive line, offensive line. It's just how's the guy next to you, and what he does affects how you have to play.
No doubt. And if 100%. You're the main disruptor, and just because you didn't get the tackle or the sack doesn't mean you weren't the one that really forced the negative aspect of the play. Somebody else just got to bear the fruits of you destroying it.
I've got a loser.
Yeah?
So anyone, you talk about how great the linebackers were in a defensive line and defensive backs going today. My loser is anyone who drops the ball at the end of the drill. Oh my gosh, it's like the worst. So like you could have a linebacker going and like, oh, look at he's cutting on a dime, look at opening the hips, da 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 da, and then you throw him, the coach throws him the ball, and then he drops it. Everything's lost.
It's kind of like a Debbie Downer, like
100%. It was like, oh, look at him cutting. He's a first round, second round guy. His hips are opening up. Drops the ball, undraftable. You can't draft him anymore at that point.
It is funny.
It's like
Even me,
done.
As a realistic football player, I'm with you. I'm like, come on, catch the ball. Yeah. But there's a reason they're on defense more times than that.
That's true.
It's because they couldn't catch. And linebackers.
So he's proving he's a defensive player.
Exactly.
He's like, I want to show you I'm a defensive player. I will drop this
There's
back.
a reason you're over there. Yeah, right, exactly. And the other thing I'll say too, is okay, linebackers I might hold a little stock into dropping the ball. If Nick Bosa and Rashawn Gary are dropping it, I'm going, I don't really care. Yeah. Everything else before that looked good. Yeah, it'd be cool if they caught the ball, but that's not what they're going to be paid to do at the next level. So let's not over scout or over evaluate.
What do you think of the guys who don't finish the drill, who don't run it through the coach?
Like,
coaches get very angry about that.
In the NFL, they definitely are. I mean, it's coaches. They're like, you know how it is in the NFL. It's militaristic.
Actually,
at times.
I don't know how it is.
Well,
in the
you know
NFL,
this aspect. It's hustle, go to the next drill. You played high school football where your coach yells at you and stuff like that. Run to your next drill. You know, run through the whistle. Don't give up on the play. Whatever. Same thing. These guys are going, you're here. You only have a little window to impress us each time. And so try your hardest instead of, it's almost like a litmus test for the guys who don't.
Well, what do you think?
You're an idiot if you don't run through.
So what do you think it is? What do you think it shows? Like a lack of effort? Lack of focus? Because I think it shows more of a lack of focus because I can see how it happens, right? You're cutting, you catch it, and you're like, cool, I'm done.
Yes.
And you just kind of have a lack of focus. You don't finish the drill.
I think it's more times lack of focus and lack of effort. Most of these guys are smart enough to realize, like, I got to put the pedal to the metal. I think what happens is some of those drills, like you're talking about, where they, backpedal, turn to the right, turn to the left, turn to the right, break, catch the ball. Okay, now they like kind of stop.
Like, I did it.
But they're exactly. Or they're thinking like, all right, wait, coach said he was going to move me here. So they're trying to do the mental gymnastics of it, and they didn't hear maybe the end of it where you're supposed to run through coach, Jimmy John down there 20 yards away. They like forgot that part of it because they were worried about all the other details.
Go to Coach Jimmy John. What are you doing? Then they remind all the rest of them. They go, "Hey guys, go to Jimmy John." I don't know why you guys are doing it. Which I've always felt like if you're one of the guys, and I don't know if they can pick where they go in the drill. I'm going to be last every time. I'm going to watch the mistakes of all the guys ahead of me.
Yeah, it's alphabetical. But
I don't know. Is it alphabetical?
It is. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
You didn't catch that?
Well, yeah, I didn't catch that by last name. So,
yes, it is.
A names have the worst.
You got to go first more times than not.
Simms,
I was down the line. If I messed up, I truly was stupid and not paying attention.
Well, that's true too. Yeah. If you're an S name and you're still messing up, it's like okay.
Yeah.
Undraftable. Look, any other winners you got here? I know you like the Iowa tight ends. I know they jumped off the page.
Come on, both of them were, off the charts. And first of all, Noah Fant. I think that's the first guy that really jumped out to me.
You like Noah Fant?
Noah Fant
passed the eye test.
Extremely handsome. First thing I'll say too. I think something. Hey, you look at the top players in football. A lot of them seem to be handsome. Saquon Barkley, Odell Beckham Jr., Tom Brady. Good, handsome, like just chiseled faces. To have that star look. I think Noah Fant has got that.
You're not joking. You think there's something to that.
I really do. I think if you look at stars like in general, Patrick Peterson, $1 Million Smile, Jalen Ramsey, could be a movie star. I truly think. It's like just a weird
I think you're just cherry picking the attractive good players.
There's definitely some ugly good players too. Don't get me wrong.
I feel like if I was a talent evaluator, if you're not the most attractive, it's like a comedian.
Right.
They always say that. Right? It's like I wasn't a very popular kid in school, so I had to be funny.
Yeah.
It's like you develop these other skills.
Sure.
I would go the other way. I would go, let me get the guys who don't look very good because I know they're going to put in the full effort. The guys who are like models, they got like Tom Brady. He's got 50 million different companies. He's got a model wife. So you got other things going on.
Yeah, but he's working hard. How dare you disrespect TB12 like that?
Yeah.
You're being enamored with his good looks and just going, oh, this must come so natural to him. But no.
So he still has to work hard. You're saying?
It's just a stupid thing I'm saying where it's like alpha male. I don't know whatever it is, but I do find it that it's kind of that way more times than not. Hey, Aaron Donald, look at him. Defensive tackles are usually supposed to be big and ugly and not that good looking. Aaron Donald's pretty good looking. But yes, back to the point.
Yeah.
Noah Fant was amazing. TJ Hawkinson, the other tight end, who's more of the, all-around tight end, run blocking, also awesome in the pass game.
First-round guy,
Yeah,
perhaps.
Definitely. I think he's probably looking at top 20 pick. And I think Noah Fant's probably going to be right there in that discussion because there is not a whole lot of people on planet Earth that are 6'4", 249 and run 4.5 flat. And especially at the tight end position. That's a special skill set right there. That's Jordan Reed-ish. It's Travis Kelce, except more explosive. I think this day and age with multiple offenses, he's at tight end one play and he's run blocking, we got to stop the run. And then the next play he's split out a receiver. That's what puts defenses in a bind. But the tight end group in general was pretty shocking.
And they opened eyes. And I'm so curious and fascinated by that every year is that there's so much tape on all of these against players. Going back to high school, you got tape on high school on them when they were recruited. Now you've got college tape on them all. But yet it does seem like you go to the combine and you perform 5 drills, you run a couple 40s, you jump a couple times, and your stock goes up. I'm curious if that's some media hype with that, or if actual talent evaluators are putting more stock into a 1/10 of a second in the 40 at the combine over what you did in college for the 4 years.
Yeah, I think it's a balance. I mean, I think what you did in college for 4 years and the film and everything like that's always going to win out, okay, at the end of the day. But when you can go to the combine and then blow it out of the water, and then it just makes them feel comfortable to go, okay, what I saw in film was real. This guy is truly that explosive. It's not a product of the environment or the team around him or maybe the lesser teams he was playing, all of those things. But all of it is going to be balanced altogether. And then there's the, the fake combine guys too, where I would go, you got to be careful of the guys who, let's say they ran 4.4, but then none of their other explosion drills matched up, where all of a sudden you go, wait, they ran 4.4, but they only jumped 29 inches?
Right.
Or, their broad jump was less than impressive. That's where I go, ooh, then he's mastered this one area, the 40, the technique of it and everything else. Is he truly, legitimately that fast and that way?
There are a lot of places doing that now, too. I mean, almost all of the draftable NFL prospects now are going to some camp in their hometown or maybe traveling across country.
Going to Florida, Arizona, California.
Trying to improve the bench, trying to improve their 40, doing all this stuff to game the system.
Right.
For a lot of them, because it's worked. Because I think you're right. I think that even for players who maybe haven't jumped off the tape, talent evaluators may like them. And they're maybe looking for a reason to like him even more. They say, you know what, I kind of like this guy. His tape doesn't look great. Oh, wow, he just ran a 4.340. Boom. Now I really like him.
You really like him. And like I said, just to bring it back to Noah Fant, here's a guy, okay, yeah, he ran 4.5 flat at 249. And then the next thing I would look at is go, okay, let me see, what is this explosion legit? Vertical jump, 39.5 inch? When I see that, I go, oh, the guy's a freak show. It doesn't matter. If he didn't even train for the 40, he would have ran in the 4.5s somewhere. He has that legitimate of explosion. When I see the rest of the numbers, a 6.8-1 3-cone drill, that's like a legit slot receiver in the NFL. So that just tells you to me that he's a special athlete and he's not just master gaming this. Exactly right. Where you're going to see those other guys. The 2 guys we got to give a little shout out to?
Who's that?
There's really, I want to make sure I get this right. Really, I want to say 3 white boy supremes, okay? That's what I call them, white boy supremes. Guys where I go.
Just make that up, white boy supremes?
No, it's always been kind of one of my things. Yeah. It's one of my taglines because I mean, I just, when I see a white guy who can run and jump, I'm just like, whoa, holy cow, this guy's legit. But Drew Tranquill, okay, he's the first one running the 4.57 out of Notre Dame, and then also had a great day just all around and everything else. The numbers matched, too, as far as, he wasn't just some, I did this one drill really good and everything else was just okay. He's awesome. Chase Winovich from Michigan. Right. Those were
Michigan had a good combine.
Had a very good combine. But those 3 alone, I just look at them and go, wait, those are some very, very special numbers. And then really another guy I want to throw in is the Minnesota linebacker Blake Cashman, okay? That's just off the radar. But 6'1", 237, runs a 4.5, had a 37.5-inch vertical. Those guys like that, they improved their stock. Drew Tranquill went from a guy where I think teams looked at him and went, he's a backup linebacker and maybe a special teams player. And now when you go to the combine and you weigh 6'2", 234 and run a 4.57 and have a 37.5-inch vertical,
you go, man, maybe he's a good
Maybe he's better than I gave him credit for. Right. Maybe he's better than I gave him credit for on film. And I think that's where it's special.
Right. White Boy Supreme.
White Boy Supreme.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.